You saw me playing solitaire and thought it was funny. Now, I'm calling you out. Download Solitaire Cash and prove you've got what it takes to beat my score.
I don't know how much shilling is going on behind the scenes, but people in our industry have embarrassed themselves in ways that I don't think I've ever seen. And now you have them all fighting for solitary ads for Stephen A. Smith, which, by the way, do yourself a favor and Google that solitaire company who's currently under investigation.
Right now. Currently facing lawsuits over bots and rigged games.
Yep.
Yes, go do.
So,
oh, that brings me joy.
You're being investigated for fraud, and now you have all of these dip just shilling themselves out. But no, not shilling. Let's just call it what it is. Whoring themselves out as harshly as they can.
Because there's a few names in that list that I respect.
Mina. What are you doing, Mina?
I'm doing that.
Dan Orlovsky, you're doing exactly what I expect out of you.
Okay, what's up, guys? So Stephen A. Smith and Michelle Beadle have recently got into it after Beadle called out her former ESPN colleague after he endorsed a solitaire gambling app that appeared to be in litigation over allegedly scamming their clients by rigging their games. Anyways, there's absolutely no love lost between Stephen A. and Michelle Beadle. Michelle had a radio show time slot on SiriusXM up until they axed her show and replaced her with Stephen A. and Mad Dog, but this beef between them was back from their ESPN days. That said, obviously Stephen A. wasn't going to go down and let someone disrespect his name like that, so on Monday he went off on Michelle Beadle and brought some receipts. Have a listen.
99% of the time I ignore people, but every now and then you got to raise up. And this is my time to do just that. Because this person is trifling. And I'm not going to go any deeper than that because I don't have to. But she is what she is. My work ethic, let's analyze that for a second here while you talk about your stuff. You are Michelle Beadle. You are on the record saying you refuse to share a desk. Let's talk about that. I do remember when I had some breaking news when you were on Get Up and you refused to have it aired because of me. Is that professional? Is that the right thing to do? Did Mike Greenberg feel that way? Did the producers at Get Up feel that way? Did the bosses at ESPN feel that way? See, I'm still there, you're not. Who you think they favored? You want to talk about me being in front of the camera. Haven't you tried to come back to ESPN? What'd they tell you? Clearly it ain't yes, because you ain't there. Could it be because of that kind of behavior? Because Cody Decker, if you're listening, since you work next to this woman was damn good at her job. She'll never say that about me. No problem. Everyone else does, and my paycheck shows it. You continue to live in your world. I'll live in mine. But I'm a fair-minded individual. She was pretty good at her job. So why are you stuck with a podcast with 2,500 subscribers on Instagram? What happened to ESPN? What happened to NBC? FS1 want you? CBS want you? Where you at? What you doing? You're at FanDuel. By the way, your boss is Norby Williamson, our former boss at ESPN, who had something to do with you being gone. Hey, Norby, how you doing, my man? Miss you, bro. Dinner on you sometime soon, my man. Yes, Michelle Beadle, I know your boss. I know him well. See, I know why you're gone. I know why you ain't back. I know why you can't go to other networks. And the sad part about it is because it's all because of that stink-ass attitude. Evil. You pray for my downfall? First of all, congratulations. Because I didn't know you prayed. I had no clue. I didn't know you were capable of such a thing. The way you act. I'm a monster? Who have I been a monster to? Bringing up Cody Decker's name again. You sitting there rah-rah and going at it and yeah, it's ridiculous, blah, 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 blah. Cody, do you know in 30 plus years in this business, I don't talk about my colleagues and my contemporaries unless they attack me. And 99% of the time, I ignore it. I don't do that. This is Michelle Beadle right here. I'm not a religious person, but I pray for the downfall. It's gross, man. You got to have principles in this thing. Take that off the screen. What are you talking about, principles? Where are your principles? I've been in this business since 1993. I started off as a high school reporter. I went to college to cover colleges at the Philadelphia Inquirer and got promoted 7 times over the years. In 2003, at a time before podcasting and all of this other stuff, in order to elevate yourself to a place where you were giving opinions because there were really no debate shows that were available before PTI and stuff like that came along, in order for you to be in a position to express your opinion, You had to earn it by working your way up the ranks through the newspaper industry. And at the time, there were only 20 African Americans in this country's history that ever became a general sports columnist. I was number 21. I came after the J.A. Adondes. I came after the Michael Wilbons. I came after the William C. Rodens. I came after the Kevin Blackstones. I came after the Brian Burwells. I came after the Ralph Wileys. I came after the Sam Lacey's and all of these other people. What were you doing? See, y'all want to talk and talk about my career as if I have no resume. I'm a black man from the streets of Hollis, Queens. How I get here if I didn't work my ass off? You think they were just giving it to me like I had some silver spoon in my mouth? It was earned. And then after the Philadelphia Inquirer, I was still doing Fox Sports before I ultimately got to ESPN. And yes, I do want to work. Right now, you saw what you think my contract is in the newspaper. They're paying me gobs and gobs and gobs of money, right? Wouldn't that be the perfect reason to just do my job and go home and look for nothing else? But it didn't stop me from taking a radio show here at SiriusXM. It didn't stop me from doing another political show at SiriusXM on POTUS Radio. It doesn't stop me from doing my production company and trying to produce scripted and unscripted content. Why? Because I'm a worker. I don't look for shortcuts. I work my ass off all the time. And guess what I'm going to do? Continue to work my ass off. I just finished speaking to my boss the other day and told him to his face, hey, my man, just so you know, I'm here. Yeah, I'm getting paid, but I'm still underutilized. Because I love to work. That's me. If I got to work 18 hours a day to get the job done, fine. If I got to work for 20 hours a day to get the job done, fine. Whatever I got to do in order to be successful and to help the network that I represent be successful, that's what I'm going to do. That might be the reason I'm sitting here in a studio I own, by the way. And you're not. And I wonder why that is, Michelle Beadle. Let's count the ways. So, I'm going to take it in chronological order rather than skip stuff, right? Because I want to make sure that I'm accurate, okay? You left ESPN for NBC in 2012. Didn't you do that? You did the show, went to do the show, The Crossover. In September 2013. It was canceled. I'm sorry, in January of 2013. It premiered January 28th, 2013. It was canceled in September. You didn't even make it a year. It was canceled in 8 months. You had a host that you was working with at the time. I'm not gonna throw his name out there. I mean, y'all can look it up if y'all want to. But know that he left within 3 months. Could that have been because of you? Because we all know you like to do what you want to do and you don't give a damn about napalm and bridges. There's actually videos on social media showing how you say you've napalmed bridges. It's what you do. He left. The show was left up to you. Lasted 8 months because its ratings really cracked 40,000 viewers. 40,000. By the way, I average over 500,000. Sometimes 600,000, sometimes 700,000, sometimes 800,000. In the morning, you were on in prime time, drive time, and you couldn't crack 50.
Okay, so that's what Stephen A. had to say about his former colleague. Come to think of it, I don't ever recall them being on the air together much. Back in the day, in the early and mid-2010s, Beadle was arguably one of the faces of the network. She was Stephen A. before he was even Stephen A. She was on a lot of programs like Get Up and even with Max Kellerman and Marcellus Wiley out in LA and a whole host of other programs. But it appears Stephen A.'s claims are true that no network wants to deal with her, which is pretty crazy. Anyways, what do you all think about this situation?